Welcome to this explainer, where we're unpacking the professional portfolio of Joshuah Leigh. You know, we hear it all the time. True design is the perfect balance of art and science. But let's be real, it is incredibly rare to actually see that balance executed across so many different formats and sectors. Today, we're diving into the work of a highly versatile communications professional. We're talking about someone whose work spans graphic design, video production, and brand identity for everyone from local government to industrial manufacturing. Let's see what that delicate balance actually looks like in practice.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. Number 1. Art, science, and design. 2. Spanning diverse industries. 3. Mastering every medium. 4. Adapting to the audience. And finally, number 5, your next creative hire.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Art, Science, and Design.
Joshua's portfolio opens up with this fantastic guiding quote from Debbie Millman. She says that effective, meaningful design requires intellectual, rational rigor alongside the ability to elicit emotions and beliefs. And honestly, this just brilliantly establishes him as a strategic thinker right out of the gate. He isn't just someone making things look pretty. He's a designer who deliberately balances cold, hard logic with warm human emotion in literally every single project he touches.
Moving right along to Section 2, Spanning Diverse Industries.
Now, if you're hiring a modern communications professional, what you really need is industry agnosticism. And his work completely nails that adaptability. Just look at the contrast. You've got this incredibly vivid, imaginative sci-fi book cover just dripping with deep space textures, and then you crash that right next to the highly structured, very corporate reality of a Ku-ring-gai Council environmental report. It's two completely different visual languages executed flawlessly by the exact same designer. And his reach goes way beyond just these two, touching everything from food and beverage to solar energy and charities.
But he definitely doesn't stop at local government and publishing. His work actually extends right into international education markets with this clean, ultra-professional market news publication for Education New Zealand. This really highlights his ability to navigate complex, multilingual, and multicultural communications. He effortlessly adapts his stylistic approach to fit some highly specific global needs.
Let's look at Section 3, Mastering Every Medium.
When you are building a modern communications team, you absolutely need a Swiss Army knife. I mean, we're talking about social media campaigns, brochures, posters, event programs, and websites. But with Joshua, it goes much further than that. He brings comprehensive end-to-end video production, vehicle wraps, and branded merchandise to the table. He seriously delivers a complete toolkit, moving seamlessly from flat graphics right into spatial, tactile, and highly dynamic digital experiences.
For example, translating a brand identity onto a 3D moving canvas, like this Olsen security doors and locksmithing truck wrap, well, that requires a completely different spatial awareness and technical setup compared to laying out a magazine spread. You have to account for door handles, panel gaps, and think about how the logo is actually going to read when the truck is doing 60 kilometers an hour down the highway. It is literally a masterclass in large-scale brand application.
He also totally masters tactile merchandise. Here, we see him taking corporate identities, in this case for industrial manufacturer Darley Aluminium, and weaving them into wearable, community-friendly apparel like beanies and scarves. Honestly, it takes a really unique creative eye to take a heavy industrial brand and successfully turn it into something people actually want to wear in the middle of winter.
But hey, it's not all just fun merchandise. The absolutely crucial point here is his technical rigor, that science of design we talked about earlier. And you can see that showcased perfectly in his ability to logically organize complex, millimeter-perfect architectural extrusions for Darley Aluminium. A wall chart like this requires intense attention to detail, precision, and serious information architecture so that builders and contractors can read it instantly on a chaotic job site.
Which brings us to Section 4, Adapting to the Audience.
Check out the playful, highly engaging layout of this St. Ives Medieval Fair Kids Activity Map. The use of vibrant colors, those dynamic honeycomb shapes, and the super accessible typography, it's all designed specifically to capture the imagination of families and children. It's loud, it's fun, and it perfectly serves its high-energy audience.
Now completely contrast that high-energy event map with the elegant boutique packaging and loyalty cards created for the Heart of Esther program. You've got delicate florals, refined typography, and these classic structural elements that evoke a real sense of luxury, personal care, and exclusivity. It is a completely different emotional resonance crafted for a totally different consumer base.
Or take this accessible volunteer map for Ku-ring-gai Council. Here, the priority isn't about luxury or high-energy fun, it's all about usability for community and charity outreach. The audience needs to easily and quickly find their local care sites. So, by using clean lines and super clear icons, he proves he can absolutely prioritize function and clarity when the community is relying on it.
Finally, Section 5, your next creative hire.
So what does this all mean? Well, Joshua Leigh isn't just making things look pretty. He brings the strategic, cross-industry experience of both fast-paced agency life and structured in-house roles to solve your complex communication problems. Whether you need graphic design, video production, brand identity, or end-to-end marketing communications, he brings this incredibly unique blend of creative flair and strategic thinking from the initial concept all the way to final execution. Ultimately, the question you have to ask yourself as a hiring manager looking at your current roster is this: are you settling for specialists stuck in silos, or is your team ready to elevate your output with a truly chameleon creative? Because adding someone who can pivot from corporate sustainability reports to 3D vehicle wraps to luxury packaging and then to technical architectural charts without missing a single beat, well, that might just be the exact catalyst you need. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective on what an elite, cross-disciplinary hire actually looks like in practice.